Hey there everybody, this is AdmiralNewkirk back after my temporary finals-based hiatus. I'm going to be bringing you Happy versus Darkforce. These were the two most popular games on my channel. Happy versus White and Braddock versus Darkforce. And so therefore I thought, well, might as well merge the two. Darkforce, Rising Star Zerg, Foreigner. Happy, 90% win rate, Terran. Inspiration to us all. Not really a pro gamer, but very well known in the community for his unbelievably consistent play. Happy rallying to wall off, actually. So, a little bit about myself, what happened since my break, I think probably mid-May. Back in Diamond, hooray, playing a lot of Protoss cheese, using Ghosts a lot in 2 of 3 matchups, and a little bit in Terran versus Terran. I mean Ghosts as in more than 10 ghosts in one game, kind of a lot. Oh, my dog's just walked in. And I'm hope to be casting a lot harder in the summer. I also hope to get to Masters in the summer, which I don't think is infeasible. I was in Masters for like a week and a half, or not a week and a half, for like a day and a half, back in Season 1. So I think it's certainly possible. However, my matchmaker is still completely and totally screwed from the whole hacking incident. So we will just see what happens. But right now, let's talk about Happy and Darkforce. Darkforce, awesome Zerg, really, really consistent, great to learn from. Not like QXC or TLO, though. Not all that entertaining to watch. He goes like Bling Bling Muta or Roach Infester. He doesn't do anything crazy. He doesn't do a Spinny Shiwa proxy hatch to put creep in his base so you can proxy Evolution Chamber. Anything like that. He just does kind of standard play. Happy, on the other hand, Happy's a fucking warlock. Alright, that's the only way to describe it. Happy is some sort of dark magician who is using his powers for the good of StarCraft. In games where he has no right to win, he just wins for no reason. It's just like, oh yeah, your force is way larger than mine. That's fine. Mine just wins. And it's really hard to quantify. I will tell you this, that he very rarely makes any sort of mistake in any way. So you'll notice he pulls that SCV pretty quickly, but still leaves the bunker there. Instead of hitting cancel, he hit T. And then when these Marines show up, that's going to allow Happy to finish the bunker, which is just really, really smart play. And think about that. All those drones, that's 5 drones that could be mining. You look at the income tab, it reflects it. Happy's income is almost double the Zerg there. And at the same time, you might actually get a drone kill, which would be huge. The drones get a surround right there. Oh, and great micro there by Happy. Meanwhile, Darkforce is just doing the smart thing. You don't wanna say it's too much of a sacrifice and just let the Terran get set up and do something and say, I'll handle it later. Being drastic in this game is good. Overreacting is good. Alright? If your opponent makes 6 Mutalisks and you make 50 Marines, that's okay. Alright, that's fine. Things in this game have other use, and it's more important to deal with the problem now than to worry about it in the future. So, that's not to say overreact, what I am saying is overreact, if you understand me. I'm saying that you really, until you have really good judgment about what is a reasonable sacrifice to make and what is safe, just kind of, on ladder at least, overreact. If some guy's going Cloak Banshees, put down 6 turrets, because he's likely to continue going Cloak Banshees. And Happy here, these better have Blue Flame. Come on, Happy. Oh, Happy. Guys, if you're gonna make Hellions, that's fine. I just want you to do it safely. Get Blue Flame. But at the same time, he is facing only Zerglings and a Queen, and these are more scout than anything. Let's go to Production tab, because it tells a whole story. Meanwhile, back in Happy's main, we are seeing some decent probe production, or SCV production. I know you guys hate it when I'll just call them workers. As well as another command center on the way. Happy going for this Marine Hellion mix, which I love a lot. I think Hellions are probably the most underrated thing in the Terran lineup, because they beat everything light so well, and they're so cheap. There's never a situation, aside from Mass Roach, where Hellions aren't going to help, and there isn't a situation where Mass Hellions isn't going to help. Hellions in Mass actually are cost-effective against almost anything, because of their splash damage. And you'll notice Happy is powering behind this. He's going to be transitioning into more standard tank Marine style, where if you want to see a guy who inspires me, go watch Goody. Goody's kind of my type player there. Just he goes mech versus zerg, and I think mech versus zerg is a really fun way to play. Now, today on ladder, actually, I started out doing really well because I've been having trouble versus some Protoss, and then I finally did start winning some, thanks a lot to Ghost. But then I had a crappy day after that, and so in it, zergs were beating me pretty consistently. They were just getting the jump on me, and I never had enough ghosts. So if you do mech, you either need to, on 2 base, have a reactored starport producing Vikings, which is dangerous, or on 2 base, you need to have 3 Rax Ghost. It needs to happen. Because otherwise, you're not going to have enough ghosts to deal with the Broodlord Zerg and everybody has coming. So, meanwhile, back in Darkforce's base, we can see him getting lair. An 8-minute lair is not bad. Neither isn't... I mean, generally you want a Baneling Nest earlier, just in case there's some crazy Marine all-in. A Baneling Nest is very helpful there. And Goody, or Happy... Sorry, Happy, you know I love you. Happy doing a nice little Marine spread there, and Happy does have stim, doesn't have Marine Shield. Happy doing a decent-sized transfer. Second starport. I suppose this is just the first starport. Herp-de-derp. One of the main criticisms I have of Happy's play is not getting upgrades. He sometimes gets engineering base and doesn't get the upgrades. We like to call that around here the AdmiralNewkirk family, getting either Krylogik engineering bay, where he just got one randomly at the bottom of his ramp for cannons, and then made a second one in his base for upgrades, which is pretty fucking hilarious. Or we call it an ornamental forge. Happy gets his engineering bay for turrets when mutants come, and then just doesn't use it. He might get +1 attack, but he doesn't use it after that, and that doesn't even make sense. So, just get upgrades. Neither player has taken their third. The standard time is 10 minutes. Oh my god, the drones are on strike. Dear lord, the drones are on strike. Okay. I kind of want to actually go back and see that, because that's really funny. This is what I like to call it when you are, here, let's see what Darkforce was doing. He selected all his drones, and then, oh my god, he was doing a spamming trick where you select everything, and then it's just something pros do to get their fingers warmed up, and instead of hitting his hatch and hitting S D D D D D, he just hit these guys and hit S, and then D D D D D, and it didn't do anything. Man, I hate it when my drones are on strike. So, making Banelings here, because Darkforce knows how to win the game. I think Losira showed us, and he has for a while, that Zerg players don't realize that even with mass tanks, Banelings still kill everything. And so if you just have 50, 60, 80 Banelings rolling into something, the tanks don't actually deal with it very well. Good split there by Happy. I'd recommend, actually, at our level of just the high diamond, as I'm going to assume the ceiling of the people watching this, don't worry about splits. You don't have the APM for it. It doesn't help you. Get up into the medevac. That is an acceptable spending of your multitasking, but doing a split will not help you as much as going back home and making workers. It's a simple fact. Now, the pros need it, because the pros need every advantage they can get, and making Marine versus Baneling slightly more cost-efficient really, really helps the pros. But at our level, splitting doesn't... The cost of splitting, as far as our attention, is way, way more expensive in the game. So Happy's still not even starting an upgrade. I'm sorry, I've had the production tab closed forever. And if we look at the units, very even so far. 2 tanks, 17 Marines versus 7 Banelings, 26 Zerglings, 43 and 44 workers. Come on, Happy. Happy, this doesn't make sense, Happy. Happy. I'm sad. Production tab again, and I think Happy scouted the Spire. Oh, there's the Spire. Yeah, Happy must have scouted it. Oh no, he just has intrinsic game sense, because that is Happy's shtick. He just gets this game fundamentally and better than almost anyone else. Now Darkforce going for this Evolution Chamber. And guys, if you really want me to, I will cast Eider versus MMA and scream at him for like 15 minutes. But that's only if a commentator tells me to. I do not feel the need to cast it. I mean, it's a decent game, but it's more a hilarious game than anything else. And Happy now showing pretty good turret coverage. I mean, this... I wish they had the turret range, like illustrated, because I can never quite tell if my turrets cover each other or not. Happy just trying to get away with this medevac and these Marines. I'd say sack the Marines, try to save the medevac, but he might be able to save it all, and he does. Good play there by Happy, and Happy doing a great thing, spreading everything out. But still no upgrades. Oh, nope, now he's getting an upgrade, and he's also... I hope that's for Hellions. Come on, Happy, tell me it's for Hellions. No, he's just going tanks and Marines. Pro's going standard. I should cast more TLO and Goody and QXC. I hope to get more Thorazane games if I can find some that aren't from MLG. Just because I think Thorazane and MLG... I mean, it was good, but it wasn't great. Now, I do have a question for you guys, for those of you who know the pro gaming scene. Who's the best foreigner Terran? Because, I mean, obviously, Huck and White Raw are the two best foreigner Protosses. And Idra's the best foreigner Zerg. But who's the best foreigner Terran? Now, for like a month and a half, Jinro was the best foreigner in the world. And he still could be that. We don't know. But he's been in a bit of a slump lately. I think part of it was that the metagame shifted and he hasn't. Or it could just be a standard slump that players have. I mean, even players like MMA go through slumps. I mean, MMA didn't make it past the round of 16 for like 3 GSLs. But now MMA just won MLG. So for a little while, it was, for the longest time, it was Jinro. Then probably for a short amount of time, it was maybe Select. Now there's this Thorazane guy. There's Thorazane, Select, Goody, Jinro. And it's really hard to tell who really is the best. Now here's what mutas are great for. Counterattack. Because mutas are trash combat units. I mean, they just die really, really, really fast. Because they have no armor and no health at all. Oh my god! This is incredible Marine micro here by Happy. Holy Jesus Christ. Let's look at the APM. 416 right there. Jesus, how is he still alive? Alright, guys. If you want to make units cost effective, that's how. Now, Happy is on 1-1, meanwhile, Darkforce is only on 0-1. Darkforce doing a good job spreading his Overlords as well, getting Overlord speed. Guys, do this. Overlord speed is great. Overlords are free scouts that you have anyway, and could be either spreading creep, becoming Overseers, or scouting. You shouldn't just have them all clumped up here, and this is what I see every guy do on ladder. They just go, Overlords, go there. I don't want you to get sniped. It doesn't matter if they get sniped. If they get sniped, then you have learned something. Now here we see Darkforce spending a lot of his Queen's energy, and we also see 3 speed Zerglings going after a Marine. Here, let's look at what a Marine speed up boost is. Marine speed goes up to 3.37. Fascinating. So now let's look at the army size tab. Oh, I haven't even had the name tabs open. Oh, yes, I have. Herp Dieter. This is a really even fight. Worker-wise, Happy's actually in the lead. He doesn't have enough turrets. Not even close. And I'd like to see him start to get something besides besides Marines Baneling, or Marines Banelings. I'd like to see him start to get something besides Marines tanks, because Tank Marine is a great foundation, but you need something else. You can't break a Zerg's back, especially one as good as Darkforce, with Marine tank. It doesn't work.